this is like a real. Here, hold on. I got a question for you.
Jesus Christ.
Seriously.
We'll have to erase that part.
What is an electrolyte?
What is an electrolyte?
Like, if I were to say, hey, Mark LeBeau, what's an electrolyte? What would you say?
I tell you that it's a type of compound. It's a metal and a non-metal that are bonded together ionically, and when you put them in water, they tend to dissociate
Okay.
into ions.
Is it important?
Of course it's important.
Would I die if I had no electrolytes?
You would die without electrolytes.
I would.
You would be a dead man.
Okay, what does hypotonic mean?
Hypotonic,
Yes.
there's more water than there is salt.
What's hypertonic?
There's more salt in the water than the other one, than the hypotonic one.
Is there anything else I need to know about?
Is this being recorded? All right, so Powerade, Gatorade, these folks are trying to sell some electrolytes. What the heck are they trying to sell us? What they're really trying to sell you, when they say they're trying to sell you electrolytes, are things that conduct electricity. So how can we do this? What we're saying is we're dealing with compounds that are able to carry electrons. Electrolytes come to us in forms that we'd say are salts, and we would say these are metals and nonmetals combined. Okay, so we take a look at this idea. We're going to be able to put these guys in water. We're going to see them dissociate into their respective ions, and that's when they're going to be able to carry electricity or become true electrolytes. So you guys know about ions, right? You know about sodium ions, potassium ions, calcium ions, bicarbonate ions, all these different critters. Those are going to be important for your overall body's metabolism. They're all things that can carry or conduct electricity. Let's take a look at that idea. I got some distilled water here. Right? And if we take a look, right, we put some distilled water into one of these beakers, okay? So distilled is water without electrolytes, right? It's water without ions in it. I can also get a hold of a nice electrolyte, that is the stuff that we refer to as sodium chloride. Put some of this in a beaker, okay? Then I'm gonna get a hold of a non-electrolyte, okay? I'm gonna get a hold of some good old table sugar, some sucrose, okay? Put some of this in a beaker. And what we're going to find is, when we take a look at this process, we're going to find that we can use this device that Dr. Paul Bradfield made this thing that's going to electrocute me one of these days, but he's made an electrical setup where you've got a light bulb that's going to light up if it can complete a circuit. It's not complete right now. He left the wires bare down here, so when I plug it in, these babies are ready to shock anybody laying around, okay? So what we can do is I can plug this thing in, and we can check all of our different materials here for conductivity. We'd find that the sugar, if I put these probes in here, does not light it up. If I put it in the salt by itself, it does not light it up. If I put this even in distilled water, it doesn't light it up. But now if I take this, if I get a hold of some salt, and I add it to the water, and now I'm releasing, right, I'm allowing, like I showed you guys before, these compounds to break into their respective pieces, into their ions. If I put this in here, we find that the light lights up. Okay, so now we're able to conduct electricity. This demonstrates that this is indeed, that is, salt is an electrolyte. On the other hand, if we get a hold of some water, so let's do this, that was my salt, okay, get a hold of some more water, and we add sugar to it, that is a non-electrolyte. Okay, if I get a hold of that sugar and I dump that in there, we find that, voila, nothing happens with our light, okay? No tricks, no nothing involved, okay? So then the third test is, let's take a look at this Powerade and see if this is actually gonna work. That is, are they selling us something that's truly gonna be able to conduct electricity? And we can check that out. Let me use this one, right? This was the sugar water. I can check this out by just simply adding some of this stuff that we call Powerade to our setup here. And we can find out if indeed they're selling us electrolytes, and there it goes. So damn it, they're selling you something that's indeed an electrolyte. Yeah, it's sodium, and you got to worry about what? Hypernatremia, but in this case, and thus your hypertension. But in any case, they are indeed selling you electrolytes.
Wow.
Bravo.
Wow!
How's that?